In today's video, we're gonna do a real quick video on something I brought home from the trash, believe it or not. Sitting in a large dumpster by my work was this. Today I'm gonna tell you what it took to get it running, how much I've got in it, and kind of a review. So let's start off, and if this video seems a little choppy, it's because I didn't decide to actually film a video about it until I got done with it, so forgive me. First off, let's start off with how I brought it home, what condition it was in. When I brought it home, the push bar up front was broken, half of it was missing. The headlights were broken on it. All the tires were flat. The grips were kind of messed up. The bars were rusted, and we were missing a brake lever. So what I wanted to do was see if I could get it running, because I didn't want to put any money into it if the motor was trash or it had some other big issue. First thing I had to do, the carb looked questionable. Could I have rebuilt it? Yes. A rebuild kit was $10. A new carb with fuel filter and air filter ready to go was less than $15 shipped. It was no brainer. So I threw a new carb on it, cleaned the gas tank out. I had to put a battery in it, cranked it over, and it cranked and cranked and cranked. And I knew it was getting fuel, but it never fired. So I kind of took a look around, checked the coil. The coil tested good. The plug, while it was dirty, it worked. So the next thing was CDI. Found on, I believe it was Amazon, the CDI, the coil, for less than $20 shipped. See how cheap these things are? Threw that in there, replaced the Autolite plug with an NGK, made sure it was gapped correctly, threw it in there, and lo and behold, the thing fired up. So at that point I knew, all right, we got a solid bike. We can do something with this. I changed the oil in it, put the new master cylinder on it, put new grips on it, cleaned it a little bit, threw a new push bar on the front, ordered the headlights for, lubed the chain, lubed all the cables, put new valve stems in, and filled it up, and then we had this. And now I brought this home not with the intention of me riding it, but for my son. He's 6, getting ready to turn 7, so I figured this would be perfect for him. 90 cc's, electric start, semi-auto, pretty easy. The only way it gets any easier is if it had a CVT in it and you didn't have to shift. But it being semi-auto, the clutch auto engages, so you can keep it in first gear, and he can hit the throttle when he wants to go, let go, and it'll engine brake down to a crawl. He just kind of squeezes the brakes and he can stop. Watch where you're going. on these things, specifically this one, the Baja 90cc ATV. If you pick one of these up for your kid, they're pretty good. First gear, it's semi-auto. Keep it in first gear, and it putts around the yard like you saw with my son riding. Now, if you want to get on it, and you're a little bit bigger than your kid, or if it's just for you, there's a little black box right here. If you disconnect that, that gets rid of the rev limiter and speed limiter. Plug it back in. This one is adjustable, but it's about between 12 and 15 miles an hour depending on the grade, if they're going down or up or whatever. So when your kid goes to get on it, plug it back in. You get on it, you disconnect it, and send it to the moon. So yeah, that's the quote-unquote free mini ATV. Well, I wouldn't even call it a mini ATV, to be honest. I mean, you saw me on it. I'm 5'8", 5'9", just under 200 pounds. It's comfortable, minus it trying to throw me off the seat. But yeah, for 90 cc's, this thing gets full suspension. And from the pictures to this point, the only other thing I've done is I added a new brake master cylinder with lever, because the other lever was missing. I did a new carb, which you saw. There's a new CDI, a new coil, and I went with an NGK plug. It had an auto light in it, but it was pretty gross, so swapped that out to an NGK. I do have one headlight on it because I've only got the brackets for the one, and I think I might ditch that. They were really cheap. I think it was $11 for the pair shipped, so I think I'll ditch those and probably buy one of those LED low and high beam 4x6 like square headlights, like for an S10 or something like that, and throw it on here. Other than that, she's not pretty, but if my son's gonna be riding it and he's gonna go in the woods, I'm sure it's gonna get scratched up and the plastic's gonna get fatigued even more, so I'm not too worried about it. I may see if I can get something to kind of bring the shine back a little bit, but like I said, I don't want to put a whole lot into this thing. It will need probably wheels and tires, maybe just tires. I noticed that a couple of them leak down if you don't ride it. Not sure what's going on there. Pops on the bead and everything, put new valve stins in them, so I'm not really sure, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, and I may update you guys with how he's doing with riding it, and if I do the headlight thing. And because I see a lot of people asking questions all over the place about restoring sun-faded plastics, I have an idea, and I haven't seen anyone do it yet. So I don't know, maybe if you guys want to see me do a video on an attempt to bring back the sun-faded plastic, drop a comment below and let me know you want to see that, and if you do, then we'll go ahead and give it a try. But that's it for this one. Until next time, guys, get out there and do it. And like they say, one man's trash, another man's treasure.